Hi, this is Dhruv.
And this is John.
And this is week 34 of the devlog.
So this week we're going to talk about the Ooblet controversy for them going exclusive on the Epic Games Store. And before we start, what do you guys think about Epic Games Store's aggressive way of, fighting Steam? Acquiring games, to fight against Steam. Do you think indies should go Epic Games Store? Do you guys have anything against indies that do go to Game Store? Epic Games Store. Let us know in the comments below.
And also indie game developers, we'd like to know what you think too. If you got an Epic Games Store deal, what would you do? What would be your response and things like that as well?
Yeah, this is actually a very, very interesting topic because this is actually our second recording.
We didn't do enough research for that first.
Because so initially we came out as very, very defensive. We were defending Ooblet because I think as indie game developers, I think nothing is better than a guaranteed minimum sale. That just seems like the best thing you want.
Yeah, I mean, you get rid of the uncertainty of not knowing whether something's going to release, and especially if it's on Epic Games Store. I don't know if many of you guys know this, but they would give only 10% cut of your total revenue versus Steam does 30%. And Steam doesn't do much in terms of giving you sort of traction to your game or anything like that. So it's kind of like they just take 30% from you but don't give you much in return unless you get a lot of sales. So Epic is saying, hey, look, give you all these sales and we only take 10% of it. It's like the best publishing deal you could get. At least that's what we thought at first.
Yeah, and the thing is, we did look at a lot of there were a lot of rumors about the Epic Games Store where they don't respect consumers' privacy problems. But actually, through doing a lot of research, it seems like those are more rumors. So I know there are still reasons why people hate the Epic Games Store because it's not friendly to the consumers. But as indie devs, it seems like it's okay. But wait, regardless, Ooblet, we were like, oh yeah, they're okay. I actually even said in the last recording that we're probably not gonna release, but that I actually liked his attitude, his kind of like snarky tone actually made his voice very, very clear. You remember this guy. It's like, oh yeah, this guy has personality. But we did some research and
it was a big yikes, let's just say.
When I was reading out the quotes, you just hear Dhruv in the background. He was listening to me reading out. He was just like, no.
Man, I was like, I thought, so what happened was we went on their Twitter, their tweet, and then some people had taken screenshots of what the developer had responded with. And I thought at first that it was a fan defending the developer or something like that, maybe a really hardcore fan or something, or maybe one of the mods. But it was actually the developer himself. And he said some very questionable things that seemed like it would be common sense not to say. Like he would criticize the people that are buying his game that supported him at the beginning even when they didn't have much.
Well, I think, let me just tell you guys, because I know how many people don't like vague, oh, he said some bad thing. This guy, there was a fan on his Discord channel that was from Malaysia who said that his wife died giving birth to his son, and then his wife liked Animal Crossing and all that stuff. So when this husband saw this game Ooblet, he on Patreon, he immediately backed it because he loved the game so much. It reminded him of his wife, and then he was kind of upset because Epic Games Store does not support the Malaysian currency or something. So he's kind of sad that he won't be able to get the game from the when the game is launched. And you know what the developer said? Ben, I think, right?
Yeah.
What did he say? That
he's like, no amount of hardship makes it so that you can demand a game.
Yeah, something like that.
Something along those lines. And I was just like, that's the last thing you should say.
Like I said, like Drew said, we thought it was just a very a fan that's defending the game. But then we looked up the guy. It's actually the main guy, the husband of the wife.
Yeah, and then I was just like, no way, that can't be. No way would he say that. That's a huge yikes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, then after that, we kind of changed our minds on the whole situation. We didn't know originally that they had promised that they would release on Steam.
Yeah, so in their Steam I think it's a pre-release or
it's like a Steam webpage, like Steam wishlist.
Yeah, a wish list. So before you release it, you people can talk to you on the community and all that stuff. And then someone asked them, oh yeah, we saw Epic Gamers like very aggressively buying all these games. Would you guys still sell on Steam? And then the guy responded with, yeah, we are thinking of initially releasing on Steam, Windows Store, and Xbox, I think. And then immediately after, so they did say that they wanted to release on Steam first.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you're going back on your words, which I can understand that. When you're first making your game, you don't really know what it's going to be released on. You don't know you're going to get an Epic Store deal, whatever. You get the deal, and then you're like, oh, this deal is so good, so I'm going to release on Epic. That's fine. But then instead of responding in a very snarky way and being like, hey, this is what people are getting mad for no reason. I mean, there is a reason you said that you would release on Steam and you didn't release on Steam. Whether that was to 10 people or the thousands of people, it doesn't matter. You still said something, and now you're going back on it. So if you're going back on it, that's okay, but you have to give a very good reasons, and not criticize the people who are backing you.
Wait, if someone came to you, or let's say us, if Epic Games Store came to us with a good deal, and then we've already told people that we're going to release on Steam, how would you respond to that?
I would make a video, like we already make YouTube videos. I would make a video, and I would show both of our faces and just honestly talk about why if we are taking the deal, why we are taking the deal, or what you guys would think about the deal, and how much would you guys want to, let's say, us not to release on the Epic Games Store, and why you guys think so. And depending on the response, I mean, if we had already signed the deal, or if there was no way we could talk about it before, something like that, then I would explain, let's say, and we want to take the deal, then I would explain why we took the deal on a YouTube video.
Well, the thing is, here's the thing. I would take the deal because, like I said, I think for indies, guaranteed minimum sale is just
it's too big of a deal.
But but the hard part is, you lose consumer goodwill, your future games might not be supported, and all that stuff. Would you give this big decision, like let's say Epic Store approached you, you haven't accepted yet, would you give this decision to your fans who support you and ask them to help you make the decision, or are you going to make a decision for yourself?
I think I would. I mean, it would depend. I don't know what Epic Store would do. I mean, if Epic Store would allow us to do that, to ask our fans about it, then for sure I would ask fans and ask them, hey, like, what do you guys think? And then if it's like a really big no, then I don't know if I would take it. Like, I think if it was, I value long term more than short term. I mean, you might get an X amount of money short term, but long term you'll make all of that plus more back. So long term is always more important, and I think that fans are always the most important thing. I mean, even though minimum sales is great, that game seemed like it had a really nice fan base and stuff.
Yeah,
so
it looked good too.
It looks like a good game, looks like a cute game. And I think what's really disappointing is it seems like the husband is doing all this like marketing thing, and his wife is the one that's making most of the game, or even like all of the game. And so I don't exactly know how that's going on, but I want his wife to kind of chime in and see what she thinks about all this, and if she had a decision in it or whatever she was doing, because like she's actually like the main creator, at least it seems like, for the game, and she definitely has done a really good job, and I would like to see what her response is to all this.
Yeah, I think even if she defends her husband, I want to hear what she thinks about it.
Yeah,
not just leave it to the marketing guy.
Yeah.
But that's going to be it for this week. I think this is such an interesting topic. Let us know what you guys think. Is there something you think we handled this in the wrong way? I actually do agree with Dhruv that long term would be good, but honestly, man, minimum
sales is really good. I mean, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's really. What would you guys do if you were in our situation, or if you're in that situation? Let us know in the comments down below. All right.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Goodbye.